Welcome back to Barroom Therapy. Kel is with us,
Yes,
enjoying a good beverage, spilling the tea, but still trying to be as professional. Because, being a radio personality as well, she has found the ways to just maneuver some of these questions. Even when I throw at her one of these very interesting questions about exam malpractice.
Let me tell you about that.
Yeah.
That, and I will tell you another one there for free.
Love it.
Some of the most ridiculous things I've heard about myself, right?
Okay.
So I remember I was chilling in my friend's house. My manager at the time, Osage, called me. He said, Kel, how far? Somebody just called me now and they said, that you were, because I went to LASU, like during exams, you were asked to stand up because you were cheating and you stood up during the remainder of the exams. I said, say what now?
Wow.
I was so confused. I said, I've never ever experienced that. I never heard of that. Now, come to think of it, I think that I was asked to stand up for like 2 minutes, me and like 4 or 5 other people because we were talking. But it was like 5 minutes after that we sat down. So Osage said she called the person, like the person
That's your manager then?
Yes, Osage. Yeah. She said, there is no iota of truth to this.
Yeah.
Did they believe her? No, they went ahead and printed it. So back in the day, we were not really, bothered about suing people or finding people to brush them.
Yeah.
not like I don't promote violence.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Then there was another one, I think, at the time, was that magazine? Is it City People or Encomium, one of them?
Okay.
And they said I got engaged to someone on the beach. So a friend of mine who knew me at the time, I think it was Nikki, I'm not sure. He said, Kel is not engaged. The person was like, no, you're going to get on the beach. We have boyfriend of a long time. I haven't even dated that long. I was like, say what now? So it's like you hear these ridiculous stories about yourself. And then you know that every time you read something about a public figure, take it with a pinch of salt because it's most likely not true.
So there was a magazine that caught a piece about you saying you were done with Nigerian men. Says Kel is done with Nigerian men.
So let me tell you,
Wow.
when you post things on Twitter, you think that that's the end of it. It's a lie. So even all these blogs that don't be posted when I'm putting out music is when I put out something that is kind of controversial. That's when they decide I'm gonna carry it. So I wasn't really saying I was done with Nigerian men per se.
Yeah.
Was that the person I dated at the time was a huge liar. God rest his soul, he's passed now.
Oh, sorry, sir.
But he fabricated some imaginary twin brother.
Really?
Yes, because he said, when you come to my house, if you see pictures of somebody that looks like me with a woman, in a marriage setting, that's my twin brother. He passed away.
No way.
So I just keep the album. And then, I help the wife out once in a while. Bruh, this man was preempting for the day that I catch him. And he said, no, I told you now, my twin brother.
Wow.
Saying they were in an accident together, his twin brother died. And then his knees kind of messed up from the accident. Bruh, when I found out the truth, I was like, fear men.
And so are you exploring other options, or you're still with Nigerian men?
I don't judge, know. If I see a nice Caucasian man that is,
Oh wait, no, you're not even thinking Nigerian.
I'm like, hi. If I say a nice Nigerian man,
yeah.
If I say a nice Ghanaian man, even I dated a Ghanaian once briefly, it was if I see a nice
So what, with the Ghanaian man, did it work?
It didn't really work because it was long distance. I would attribute that to the long distance.
To long distance.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm open, not now.
Okay.
In December. So right now, I've been saying this
You're open in December. Right now.
I've been saying this I've been saying these things. Every time I say when I'm on air, it's like, what do you mean?
So what does that mean?
It means that I'm taking things easy for now because the last heartbreak that I encountered was late last year.
Okay.
And I just like, you know what? At my old age, why are they breaking my heart?
Okay.
And I told myself I was just going to chill.
Okay.
And just take it easy. So if I'm even going to just talk to somebody now, I just view you as casual. If I don't talk to you for one day, I've forgotten about you. I'm not going to lie.
Wow.
It's happened to me like twice recently. I've forgotten that I was talking to somebody. When they text me, I'm like, oh, you are here?
You're still...
Oh yeah, so December, I'm going to open myself up fully to accept love.
So post-December, it's still going to keep going?
Yeah. Until I find my man. I was going to say until they break my heart again.
So
until my man finds me.
So for Kel, do you feel like you have, like, what have you been able to change, or rather to adjust with regards to not making sure that your heart isn't broken, because nobody can tell, but obviously you would want to make sure that with the decisions you're making, you're avoiding that. right? So what have you put in place? Where have you set your mind to say, okay, I must do this. This is what he must have. These are the red flags to make sure that I don't have my heart broken again. Also, I don't just generalize and say, oh, Nigerian men are avoidant.
I'm not a generalizer.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I believe that not everybody.
Yes.
When people say, oh, Yoruba men are this, Igbo men are that.
Yeah.
I'm like, sometimes it kind of leans true, but I don't judge everybody by that yardstick.
Yeah.
Right? So what I tend to do is now I'm going to have I haven't written down a list yet. I think because maybe when I write the list, it's like, oh my gosh, am I ready for this? Yeah. I'm going to write down a list. And I'm also going to put it at the back of my mind that, hey, you know that you fall easily, so you have to be careful.
Okay.
You have to ensure that if you see nonsense, don't make excuses for them.
Okay.
You call it nonsense from the jump, because I used to make excuses, but I put a lot. I give people grace because, human beings, but not lie. At my age, and so if you're approaching me at my age, you should be at a certain age right now where you ought to know what you want, right?
Okay.
And so if you don't come correct like that, it's just like, Then I've also learned detachment. I've also learned that people are temporary until they prove permanent in your life. So those are my stories.
So what was the longest time it took you to get over a heartbreak? Because obviously...
I would say 6-7 months.
6-7 months?
Or, like a year.
A year? When was this our twin brother guy?
It was somebody that I was talking about marriage with.
Okay.
We did it for 7 months. But it just, left me wondering, is it me?
Really?
Yeah, do I keep attracting these people who are seamless liars, who are just dishonest? Do they actually show me their red flags? Do I turn them into pink flags? Right? So I had to question myself a lot. So yeah.
So he basically did he change his stance with marriage, or did you realize?
No, his character.
His character changed. So you realize, obviously, this isn't where we thought it was going.
And this was the first person that I really thought about settling down with, and I was open to having kids with, because I won't lie, the idea of kids scared me.
Yeah?
Bro, the stories I see, I'm like, what do you mean that somebody's pregnant, they lost their teeth, lost their hair, they went blind? What do you mean? You know? But this person, I was willing to try to take that risk.
Okay.
But then,
so you must have really loved him then.
Yeah, I did. And he was somebody who I'd known for a while, so he was a friend before he became, we got into a relationship. But yeah, it didn't work out. I survived. Hi.
Are you guys still friends?
No, I blocked him everywhere. No, I don't really block people.
I understand
I don't really block people though.
Because
I'm very
obviously,
forgiving.
yeah.
But when you test me to the point of, nah, bro.
These guys are can't be friends. Is he in the entertainment industry? He's not, or you're not answering. That's the bombshell that takes us to the next part. For the next part for Barroom Therapy. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back to Barroom Therapy. Kel, the rock star who has basically just been taking all the questions, knocking them out the park like, yo, it's nothing. It is nothing.
I told you, I've been doing this for a while now. I stumbled into radio. I never planned to go into radio, but I stumbled into it.
Now we can clearly see why. Because obviously you have with you and with, I even think even life experiences probably has put you in a better situation with even with radio. Everybody's always interested to find out that, this hot lady, at the height of her rap career, then all of a sudden seems like it sizzled or something like that. There were articles, for example, that said, oh, Kel says she's not broke. Kel says she's not depressed.
I can't even remember what spawned that, but I remember that headline. I was like, wait, what? After
Kel says
everything
she's
I
not
said,
broke. So
this is what you got from it? But then I realized that that's just one thing that goes in being in the spotlight.
Yeah.
People would always want to talk about you, and like M.I said in that song, if nobody talk about you, then you are nobody. So
True.
I guess that is still a privilege that, even years after I was silent in music, people still thought me relevant enough to do articles and posts around.
Was there any point where you actually found yourself broke?
And depressed. When have we not been? Are we not in Nigeria?
Before things go, right now, the percentage of people that are broke are depressed. But
Yeah.
before then, you know,
So I'm gonna be real, right?
Yeah.
I've said this before on radio. I've said this before, like a few, like no, not a few. I think I just said it on radio randomly. But yes, I have been in a situation where I told God, if this is all you have for me in this life, let me go to bed tonight and let me not wake up tomorrow morning.
Wow.
And then I know it's your will, it's your doing.
Wow.
Because I'm like, if I take the knife to myself, I take some drugs, then it means that I'm committing suicide because I'm Christian. I still believe in those things.
Yeah.
Right. So I used to, like, for 4 or 5 days,
Yeah.
for one certain week, I prayed to God every night. And I cried. I said, God, I'm tired of living like this. And if this is all that this life has for me, I'm done. Let me go to bed. Let me not wake up. Just please comfort my mother. But it never happened. Every morning I wake up.
You're like, oh, I'm awake.
I'm like, no, wow,
oh,
I'm
man.
here again. Why? Why are we doing this?
But that
Why are we doing
is
this?
that is deep. That is actually very deep.
I know. So when people talk about
point did it happen?
depression and how, you know, it's fake,
Yeah.
or how people who, you know, somebody looking from the outside in would think I'm living a great life.
Yeah.
You know, but at that time, it wasn't so great for me. But I thank God that now I've tried to tune my mindset into the fact that maybe things are only 30% working for me. But you see that 70%, it has nothing to do with my daily livelihood. It has nothing to do with my health. It has nothing to do with my looks because, yes, I'm a bit vain. I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, okay, God, ooh, you made this?
It is clear that you have not sold out because if we're being honest, we know that, you know, people in the entertainment industry, females, find themselves compromising, especially selling some parts.
And I thank God for that because
Yeah.
when I started out, I heard a lot of stories of female artists and I sympathize with them because that must have been horrible.
We're doing dirty things
But
to
I
be able to get
guess-
the money.
Because I started out with Clarence Peters, nobody wanted to mess with Clarence Peters. He was shooting all the high-tech videos, you know, all the really dope videos back then. So even for my first album, The Investment, I have a lot of features. I don't know these people from anywhere. Clients will call them to the studio. I have this artist Kel. They'll listen to my song. Say, she's dope. Oh. When I jump on a song with her, I'll give you like some discount off your next video. That's how we got most of the artists on my album.
Interesting insight into what really makes, you know, past with Kel, future, or rather present. So the future, what does that look like? Acting. Is it something you're looking to?
I want to do movies. I'm a script writer. I officially wrote two episodes, not seasons, 2 episodes on a mini horror series directed and produced by Imo Omoren.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a horror series. I'm also working on some personal scripts too as well.
Yeah.
I have a book I started working on that I put to the side,
Okay.
but I might pick it up again soon.
Sure.
But yes, acting is definitely something I want to do, but I don't know how to, quote unquote, hustle in that regard of show up for every audition, say hello. So it's people I know, I say, how far, you're doing something? Give me one small part now. I did for you.
That's what's
So
up.
that's what I've been trying to do. That's how I got my last two, my last one. That's what I'm trying to do. But I like acting. I like assuming another character. It's the same way I love reading books and I love watching series because you get lost in the characters' lives. So whenever I have to assume a character, I get lost in their life. And it's like a way of escapism for me. I know it might not be healthy, but it works. So yes, more movies and more script writing. That's what I intend to do.
Kel, you're a rock star.
Yes,
an
I am.
epitome of resilience and, I dare say, indestructible. And
Thank you.
thank you very much for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having
Cheers
me.
to a fantastic future that's going to be absolutely amazing. We haven't seen you shine your brightest. You will. We know that for sure.
Hey.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap it up for Barroom Therapy for another super episode. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure that you keep it locked to ensure that you never miss the next one.